Do you like my pearls? This is a quiet little story about a friendship between two middle-aged women, me and Kelly Wolf, and this is a family story because Kelly Wolf has performed on this stage, and Jessica is in this story too. Jessica, hi. So I like to tell this story because it's all inside family here, and it's heartfelt, and you'll cry, and you'll laugh. Kelly and I are adjunct professors at George Mason University. Adjunct, the Latin root for penniless. The Middle English for qualifies for food stamps. But Kelly has gone on to the promised land, the land that all adjuncts wish for. A land of free sex. No, I'm so sorry, son. I know you're back there. Forgive me. The land of assistant professorship. And that thing all of us adjuncts dream about every night when we go to sleep. Benefits. She is going to the promised land. And I'm telling the story tonight because I will miss my friend very much when she goes. So I have to rat her out tonight since she had the good sense not to show up. Of how Kelly and I became such awesome friends. Kelly and I are what Mason likes to call adult learners. We're older than hell. We're somewhere beyond that age where you have a job and you could possibly be employee of the month. But life insurance policies will still be sold to us. No one's trying to put us in an active senior lifestyle ghetto. But we were definitely different from our colleagues. I noticed Kelly right away. She didn't have green hair. She didn't have a piercing in her nose or her lip or her eyebrow. And by God, she still wore underwear. But the best thing about Kelly is she could log on to the GMU computers, and I couldn't. Put me in front of one of those computers, it's like looking at a monkey on crack. I would be busy doing this, and nothing would be happening. And Kelly would be looking at me like, what the hell is your problem? But she took pity upon me, this great ex-reporter who had worked at some of the best newspapers in the country, and she would help me log on to the computer. Because to me, online searchings like JSTOR might have been the grocery store, and something called a wiki, that sounds like a hell of a cocktail, let me have one. But slowly, Kelly and I became friends. Something else that was quite different about us was our writing was different from our colleagues who were in their very early 20s. They were writing coming-of-age stories. We couldn't remember that. Kelly was writing sex scenes, and it was scandalizing our faculty, so they nicknamed her Wicked. I was writing my own fantasies about children burning up in fire. Sorry, son. They nicknamed me Dangerous. So it was like a twisted Kardashian sister sort of thing, but it really was more like the Duggars. Because we look back at that time, Kelly and I, and that those 3 years in MFA program, which is Mistresses of Fun, was more like rediscovering our virginity. Because honest to God, the students were off limits, and that's all we saw. There's a third person in this relationship, my son, Rambo. That is not his real name, but I try to protect his innocence, even though he really has none. If you know me, anywhere I go, Rambo goes. And Kelly, God love her, would put up with me dragging Rambo to every place I went, including the first time Kelly stood on the stage. And that is coincidentally the first time I met Jessica. I had Rambo with me because my babysitter had crapped out on me an hour before the performance. Kelly said, you've got to come, it's my first time up. So I bring Rambo, I put his earbuds in his ear, I sit him down, and I feed him pizza. Jessica comes up and says, I just want you to know, yes, that tonight's performances include a lot of adult material. Like, great. If she hadn't said that, Rambo would have kept his earbuds in his ears. But he heard her, he immediately took them out and stood there like this. I said, thanks, Jessica. We'll be just fine. And now I'm thinking, oh, crap. First story up. It's about sex in the bushes. Okay, we can do this. It's gonna be okay. I'm here to support my friend. The second story up was sex on the beach. Okay, this is fantastic. Rambo's got all his sex ed covered for the next 10 years. The third story up is my friend. I'm like, it's Kelly. What could she possibly say? I've read her sex scenes. They're pretty tame. Kelly comes up and says, hi. Tonight, I'm going to tell you the story about the first and the last time my friend and I dropped acid. Oh my God. And in that story, Rambo instantly fell in love with Kelly. And he demonstrated his devotion. For the next month, when I drove him to school, he would repeat word for word Kelly's story. And then the grocery store clerk eyes spoke to me, and giant cockroaches flew down from the ceiling, and the things on the grocery store shelves were wavy and colorful. It was just great. We didn't get very many invitations to birthday parties that year at school. To try and make up for this particularly heinous night of motherhood, Kelly and I decided we would take Rambo to Arena Stage to hear a play about Greek mythology. That has to be good, right? There is nothing more wholesome than those Greeks all fornicating with each other, killing each other off, and setting each other on fire. Okay, so I'm a slow learner. And I didn't read the fine print. We get to the theater, and the first woman we see is taking our tickets and says to me, "Psst, you do realize that this performance involves full frontal nudity, don't you?" Well, yes indeed, I do, and it's perfectly okay. And I'm thinking, you know what, he's got a penis. He's seen him before. He's not gonna freak out. It's like, okay, we can do this. Kelly's snickering, really laughing at this point. We get in, we show the tickets, and we're led to our seat. And the very nice elderly lady says, "You know, at this performance, there is full frontal nudity." "Yes, ma'am, I think I've heard that. Thank you, appreciate it, we'll be all right." Kelly is laughing so hard now that she's having trouble gasping for breath. But the reason that I really love Kelly is when the third usher came up, uninvited, because we were in the second row, leans over and says, "You know, there's full frontal nudity." Kelly said, "Hell yeah! Why do you think we're here? That's why we're here in the second row. We want to see it all." Best friend ever. No one said any more to us about full frontal nudity. Kelly throws awesome parties. Kelly throws such awesome parties that she has more fun than anyone at the party. And that would be perfectly wonderful, except for one small problem. Kelly lives in a townhouse community where there is almost no parking. So you will definitely get towed if you park your car where Kelly lives for a party. I really didn't want to go to her 40th birthday party. I'm not much of a party goer. I'm kind of introverted and shy. You can tell that, right? But she said the word that I can't resist. It's a costume party. It's a costume party? Really? What kind? 70s. Kelly apparently doesn't know how old I am because I have clothes from the 70s. This isn't all that goddamn funny. So the way it works is you put on your costume, you drive to the Safeway, you call a special number, and someone comes to pick you up and drives you to the townhouse. Yay, I can do that, except how do I get back to the Safeway from the townhouse? But you know what? This is a 40-year-old birthday party. What could go wrong? We're all adults Wolf's here. We're just gonna eat some food, have a couple drinks, cut a cake, sing happy birthday, and go home early, right? 11 o'clock at night, 2 hours past my bedtime. I see Kelly across the room and I say, hey, kinda gotta go get the babysitter. Tired. Kelly misinterpreted what I meant. She thought I was getting bored. So Kelly's remedy for me being bored was to yell, tequila shots! Within 15 minutes, there was nobody sober enough to drive me back to the Safeway. I remember grabbing one of her friends and dragging her out onto the porch, it's now midnight, and saying, how do I get back to the Safeway? She says, you see those woods? You go through the woods until you come out the other end. I'm in a costume with shoes even more ridiculous than I'm wearing tonight. I have no flashlight. I do not know where I am. Well, the other thing you could do is go through the backyards of the townhouses at midnight and be the creepy peeping Tom. I apologized to the woman in the minivan who saw me staggering out of the woods with twigs in my hair. She swerved and hit her high beams, and I did the only thing I knew I could do. I'm okay! It's okay! Everything's okay! Kelly and I have not always had happy, great times. Our second year of teaching, towards the end of the program, Kelly's dad got very, very sick. We had 3 weeks left in the semester. And at 3 weeks left in the semester, her father entered hospice. And I said, Kelly, come on, get the hell out of here. It ain't worth it. I'll teach your classes, I'll send you the papers, you can grade those. I'm not gonna grade your papers. God knows I can't stand grading my own. But I'll teach your classes, go. She said, no, I'm not going. They hired me to do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna finish my semester, I'm gonna grade all these papers, and I get my grades posted. And every day I would say, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Really, Kelly, go home. She says, no, I got this. Kelly did it. She got her papers done, she taught her last class, she ran for a plane. She landed, and she and her dad had the best conversation they've ever had for about 4 or 5 hours. And then he closed his eyes, and he did not wake up again. And my friend still feels bad about this. And Kelly, I know you feel bad about this, but you did great. You're a pro. You're an absolute pro. She taught everything she had to teach. She fulfilled her obligations. You got back home, and you said goodbye to your dad. You're just a great, great friend. But now, you're leaving me. And we had this fantastic thing we were going to do in August, right? We know when the freshmen move in, and we know some of those freshmen have single dads. I already have the poster board and the great big fat Sharpies, and we were going to form the George Mason Friendship Committee. And the posters were going to say, single dad mixer at the well, 7 p.m. And now my partner in crime is leaving to go to Massachusetts and teach college for real. And I won't get to do that. Or maybe I'll do that by myself. I don't know. But what I wanted to say is that this is a friendship between 2 middle-aged women. And we don't often get to celebrate that because Hollywood doesn't look at us anymore. And we have a blast, and we've had so much fun. And I will miss you every day, Kelly Wolf, until you come back. And I love you this much, and I'm so happy that you were my friend. Thank you.